Welcome back to another video here at the Felons Uprising channel. I'm your host, Moises Beauchamp, and today what we're talking about is creating brand awareness. And here at Success for Felons, what we are America's largest felon success network. We're a group of like-minded felons who are committed to creating wealth and achieving success through personal development and learning how to become entrepreneurs. You heard? So with that said, today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing this interview that Gary Vaynerchuk did with Nipsey Hustle. In this video, man, Nipsey Hustle teaches us how to create brand awareness amongst other things. So sit back, relax, be sure to like the video, comment, let me know what you think of creating some, creating your own brand and learning how to create awareness to your brand, you feel me? Let me know about that in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, be notified anytime that I upload or I go live here on my YouTube channel. If you're watching this on Facebook, my Facebook page, be sure to like the page and comment and like as well. But that said, my good peoples, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the main content of this video. I'll be sharing this interview that Gary Vaynerchuk did back in 2017 with Nipsey Hustle, and he breaks down the whole creating brand awareness subject in this interview. So with that said, my good peoples, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Bear with me 1 second as everything gets together here. Gary Vaynerchuk, man, he's a beast in what he does, and go check out his channel. Shout out to Gary V on this video, and there's just no copyright infringement because I'm giving credit to Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. Under the Fair Use Act, I am allowed to use this video. So with that said, sit back, relax, enjoy the video. Be sure to comment, let me know what you think, share, because there may be an ex-felon out there that may need to hear this information. Because I remember when I was locked up, there was a lot of dudes in there with a lot of good ideas, but you know what I'm saying, no way of knowing on how to put it together. In this video, Gary Vaynerchuk and Nipsey Hustle, may he rest in peace, they break it all down.
Gary.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, man.
Bino.
Gary.
Good to meet you.
What up, man?
How you doing, man?
All right. It's just vibing. Just basically catching what's going on. So we just be ourselves. What's up, bro?
What up, my man? Real good, man. Real good. Thanks for the hospitality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice to meet you, Sophie. Gary. Nice to meet you, sir.
My engineer.
Be sure to subscribe to Gary V's channel.
Pleasure.
You shared some good info.
What's up, man? Gary. Real pleasure. What up, man? How are you, Gary?
Rest in peace, Nipsey Hustle.
Never. How are you?
I'm solid, man. Just finished my album, so we just trying to stay creative while we get the marketing ready and all that. I don't want to stop being in the music vibe. I just want to keep recording up until the release date,
Stay in that zone.
Yeah,
I love that.
I fell out before, like, I got off music and started getting on, like, videos, marketing, thinking about selling the shit.
Yeah.
It's, like, painful getting back in the music mode,
So while you're in it, you're going to stay in it.
I'm telling you, I'm making myself at home. Yeah.
Is this where you record?
Well, we kind of bounced around. We built a spot in Burbank, and we spent like a year and a half. It was like an open space. We built the walls out, built all the rooms acoustic from scratch, and we ended up losing the spot because we had to sell.
Be right back.
And we didn't know.
Go snatch me up a drink.
We thought we was running from the owner.
Fuck.
It was like
That sucked, huh?
I got whooped. I went to court.
Damn.
Paperwork, I never missed a rent. Everything was always on time. He was just like, bro, your name ain't on that shit. So since then, we just been like renting shit. We was at Paramount for like 3 months.
Is that where you did most of the album?
That's where we finished it.
You started it back in that spot?
Exactly, yeah. I want
What you started with when I first walked in here about, I got caught up in the marketing and all this, but the music stuff, you just love, like, Boyd's just like, wait till you two meet.
Right.
Does it just come natural to you, just love it?
With the marketing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, bro, like, I never looked at it as marketing until after the fact. I looked at it as like
Hustling and getting it done?
It's context for the release, right?
Okay.
Like, all right, I look at like albums from like Jay-Z, T.I., any big successful artist. Some of their albums was really successful. Some of them was just like...
Not really.
And so the difference between the ones that were and the ones that weren't was the narrative. Like the I'm about to go to jail album from T.I. Or the I just got this big movie, ATL, I'm calling my album King. And the song is in this, it was attached to a narrative. Jay-Z, I watched American Gangster and I got inspired and I went to the studio. Whereas Kingdom Come, I'm coming out of retirement. That was the story. Or
why do you think this last one didn't pop that much?
What, 444? I think it did pop.
Sales-wise, they were saying, like, I mean, culturally, it felt like it popped.
Yeah, I think that's the only success to me. I don't count them other metrics. I think that's the bar to me.
Trading culture.
That's it. If it penetrates, you did it.
100%. That's basically all I think about. Attention, arbitrage, hack culture.
Yeah. But other than that, everything else can be manipulated. All that shit can be influenced.
That's right.
If you go outside and you hear the music, come to the concert, everybody singing the words,
then you're good.
It connected. That shit penetrated. But then also, he did his shit through Tidal, through Sprint. Again, they did it as like a unique release just to...
They big the numbers that way.
Yeah. I'm sure he got a nice check. I don't know what they did.
Well, to your point, like, there's no way he sold all his shares to Sprint unless he was trading on fame and culture.
Right.
So Sprint's a client of the company that Mike works for me, like VaynerMedia.
Right.
Like, I know the CEO super well.
Right.
Like, he's trading... Like, fame is the ultimate arbitrage in our society.
I agree.
I
agree.
It's the ultimate arbitrage.
And, like, relevance and, like, conversation. And
100%.
You know what I mean? To be included in something that is going to be consumed on that level. And it's going to be respected on that level. It's not going to be, like, experienced as disposable. It's going to be damn near consumed as art. And to be affiliated with that. You know what I'm saying?
And then understanding how to distribute it in the modern way. It's always going to change.
I agree.
Like when I think about Instagram and things of that nature, it's really no different than TRL.
Right.
Right? Like that, I mean, that's what Puff, I still don't, even I was watching his documentary the other day. I was hoping they'd bring it up. They didn't. He hacked MTV at night. He would just show up on set.
Pull up.
Or like Carson. That's right. Because he was smart. He knew every single teenager's eyes were on that at 4 p.m. Everybody, right? People don't understand what he was doing. He was acting all goofy. Did it? All he was doing.
He getting $1 million something.
100%. Back then, he fucking owned everybody who was fit. If you're, what am I, 41? If you're 31 and if you're 20 to 30, like, you know exactly what that was.
Yeah, I remember TRL, Carson Daly, the screaming crowd outside.
And he, like, that's when all the boy bands and the girls, but he walked right in there and he started, like, hacking it.
Yeah.
That's what he's always, if you understand, from Russell Simmons to whoever you want to talk about, everybody in hip-hop who understands how to penetrate underpriced attention wins.
Absolutely.
Be sure to
right?
like,
So for
share,
me, right now,
subscribe.
like,
And
so if
comment.
you're taking notes, the number
Let me know
one
what
thing,
you think.
YouTube vlogs, you get the right hook or your project. You remember Madden, when Good Charlotte was on Madden, when you're like making your team in the beginning, right? And literally that made them famous. Right. That's how I think about vlogs on YouTube. I think getting one of these 16 tracks on the right vlog that gets 3, 4, 5 KC, Jake and
Some
Logan
good
Paul.
information
You
right
get the
there.
right, like in a scene, that in itself is so much fucking underpriced attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, like, that's how I think about shit. Like, you could be
on a similar, not to cut you off.
No, please.
50's kind of doing that with power. He using power to like platform the music.
100%.
I don't think he was getting it off without the TV show. No disrespect to 50 at all, but TV show brought new interest to his music.
100%, man. That's exactly right. Yeah. I was just with The Rock like an hour ago. That man just hacks every fucking platform. Siri commercial, Ballers on HBO, movies, social media. He's just
so with The Rock, man. What is he doing?
He's trying to win the world.
Yeah.
The Rock is like, right? He's just like, you know what's crazy about The Rock is like everybody, like I'm even looking at everybody's face, like this crew, Upper East Side, 58-year-old white guy, everybody just smiles. Yeah. And that's fucking dope, you know? Like that's just like, people fuck with it. He's hungry.
What happened though? How did he start going crazy?
You know what? I was talking to him. It's honestly, it's the same shit I feel. I'm sure you feel it too. Like, sometimes you just know, and it's just a fucking. When people ask me about shit, all I do is ever point to my wrist. Right. Just a matter of time.
Right. Period.
Just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's what
I'm with you for 4 seconds. I can see in your face. Yeah. Once you just know.
Yeah, no question.
You just know.
Shit, I feel like that.
Right.
That's real.
That's right. You know it's in there somewhere. Like to me, like I really popped on Twitter. I was one of the first people in the world to have 1 million followers on Twitter. Right. Then I got busy, did my thing, and like went Instagram and all that. Like,
so much
and I was quiet for a little bit. YouTube,
today,
you know? And then it was like just a matter of time.
Nowadays,
and then I got hot again.
To make it with
if you're good enough,
all these social media platforms,
and that's what The Rock. Like if you asked me, it was the first time we really chopped it up. It was just like
so
when
much
he was like
easier for
tried
us.
to play football, when he went to wrestling, like even when he was at wrestling, when he was the fucking Rock, he still knew there was more.
Right, no question.
You think that opportunity is something that everybody has access to, or if it's innate?
I think that today's world, there's no more old white guy being the gatekeeper, so everybody's got an at-bat. I just don't think everybody's got it like that. But I think everybody can maximize their shit. So like not everybody's destined. Listen, I love playing basketball. I'm not fucking LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, so we've all got our talents, but you know what you guys do for a living. Like, I mean, I'm looking at music and I'm spending a lot of time looking at it. Fucking SoundCloud, Spotify, putting music on vlogs. Like, no more Jimmy Iovine fucking trips over you. No more fucking, like, you're fucking one song away on, like, putting out shit, like, and you don't even need rap caviar. You just need to put out music, and I think the one variable, the shit that I fucking trade on is trade culture. If you're hungry, and, like, trying to think about your career, like, it's so hungry right now where you're at, young and like, right? And what's going through your mind, same shit that went through my mind 30 times. You saying to yourself in your mind, this project, especially with this man, this project, oh, this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to happen. And guess what? It might not. I just did Apple's first show, right? will.i.am, Jessica Alba, Gwyneth Paltrow, and me. Shark Tank for apps, right? And me and my team, D-Rock, will tell him, like, this is going to be it. They're going to spend $20 million. I'm going to be on every billboard. It's going to fucking pop. It's going to be the next Netflix. They won't call it Apple Music. They'll change it up before it comes out. They'll buy Netflix. It'll be big. Did it? Nope. They put out Apple Music. Nobody here's fucking watching TV shows on Apple Music yet. That's not how we think. So, fucking 30 years I've been working my fucking face off. I'm like, this is going to be the moment. And it wasn't. But when you know you've got it, you just go to the next thing. So I think, like for me, if I'm in music, I wish I could rap because I know I could be humongous because all I would do is make music and then lay in bed for 11 hours, try to hack on social media, get in my shit, recognize, notice. You're one person away, one piece of content away. You just gotta fucking make it. And what's amazing about music, and I think everybody, I don't like speaking about shit I don't know, so I don't want to speak to it, but one thing I do know is I believe that every artist that ever lived had a lot more songs in their fucking dome than ever saw the day of life because of the way it worked, right? Now, everybody's fancy, everybody's trying to understand supply and demand. I don't think people understand how busy the world is. The world's so busy, there's so much shit, that I'm a big fan of telling people to put out music. Put out music, like, fucking every week. Like, if you've got it like that, you know, some people don't have it. I don't know. But if you've got it like that, put it out. Put it out. People are hungry for it. And every time you put out, that's giving you another at-bat.
And it creates momentum, too. Just by, it's like a fashion brand. They delivering every season.
100%.
It's like a release schedule.
But they gotta make this shit. They gotta distribute it. They gotta make that hat. They gotta make those kicks. It's slow. Like, fuck, from studio to fucking the world. It's just so crazy. I think there will be a big time artist in the next decade that puts out a song a day.
I agree with that. We did a campaign last year called Marathon Monday. We dropped a song.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I saw the reaction to that, more so than dropping an album. I'm like,
100. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, somebody's gonna wake up and do something called 365, and they're gonna start on fucking January 1st, and they're gonna fucking go.
Who did a versus day? Didn't Crooked Eye do a versus day? I don't think he did a song.
Emilio Rojas did like 30 songs for 30 days type shit. Right. It wasn't. You really gotta be like somebody.
I mean, you gotta really have fucking talent to drop 365 songs, discipline, hunger. You gotta have Boyd. What up, my man?
What's up, OG? How you feeling?
How you doing,
good?
man? It's good to
Yes,
see
sir.
you.
Likewise.
But if somebody, like, that'd be the first piece of advice from fucking Hove to fucking some kid right now who's never done.
Gram every morning. Instead of
You think you could? I mean, like I'm telling you right now, you could, especially if you're talent. You know, somebody shitty puts out 300. You put out 364 whack shit. You know, you put out 39 fucking bangers. You know, another 100 like fucking solid shit. Like, you can have a throwaway here and there. The reason I love 365 is you can social commentate. Like, what people love is relevance, right? Like, I don't know, do you write or you just go from the dome?
I do both.
Right. So for me, like just culture, right? Like, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, like, you slip a little, like, nobody can beat you to the market. You're just dropping shit that everybody gives a fuck about. Something pops on fucking Instagram and everyone's talking about, just one little line, that's what hooks people.
Right.
That's what hooks it, you know? Real crime. I mean, it's just to have that discipline and to put yourself out there, like, yo, I'm gonna actually do this, that's hard.
Yeah, it's a risk.
It's a risk, but like the reward, I'm all about risk reward, right? I did a sneaker, like all upside. The sneaker I got coming out, like if it fails, like nobody expects a 40-year-old fucking entrepreneur to have a hot kick, right? But if it works, right? I fucking had 2,000 people at Shoe Palace on Melrose Tuesday night, and the owner walked in, he's like, there's more people here than we dropped the Yeezys. Everybody heard that. And that's it. That's what I keep doing, right? And the best part is you just have to have humility. If there was 6 people there, I'd be like, I lost. And that's just when you get to that place where you just don't give a fuck about what anybody else thinks. That's how you put out 365 music, right? Right? Because that's Sunday, February 9th, you put out something okay, and people are like, whack, you should have done this project. That's when you get punched in the fucking mouth, and are you gonna fucking drink that blood and just record the next day and fucking get them? Right. Or are you gonna fold like a cheap chair and be like, fuck me?
Right.
So you have to have the right DNA to go for those kind of projects.
And that's what they end up respecting.
100%.
Exactly. You got to be an action taker.
And then all the upside. You never, like, if on day 311, right? Like November, like Thanksgiving dinner, like is the hit, you know? Like.
And what's crazy is it's a streaming game. So back in the day, that probably would be against their model, but it's streaming too.
Of course it was against the model. You gotta make 12, you gotta print the fucking CDs, you gotta get it to fucking Walmart, Sam Goody. Like, it just it wasn't real.
Right.
Now, you know, it's just so different. Nobody's got control. It's you and the fucking kids that got it in their ear.
I think the biggest restriction is everybody thinking in the old mentality.
100%. Because there's a lot of money in the old mentality. Right. And, like, you know, people are sad.
People got rich in the old mentality.
Are you kidding? Will, I was with Will, and he's just like, he said, music, and he was like, he was basically complaining about streaming. I was like, yo, I'm like, it's just not 1984 anymore, man. Like, sorry that you can't put out Thriller and buy a fucking amusement park, you know? Like,
I don't understand why people complain about streaming. I get more off streaming than I do off sales. I'm sure everybody do.
I think the truth is, I don't know. I'm sure the tippy top of the spear might have gotten, I don't know.
I think that the label, I think that what they complaining about is the label contract.
That's got them locked up.
Yeah, they don't have an agreement.
Direct, yeah.
Because it's a new platform.
How did your whole thing go down? When did you first like hit the scene, and then how about? I mean, you were talking about him in 2009.
That's about when.
Yeah, right. I remember it was 2009 because we just started Vayner, and I just remember your name. Hustle's my favorite word on earth. So I was like, whoever that is, I like him.
It's crazy. Charlie Walk told me that when we signed our contract, he like, bro, I don't even hear music. I'm signing off your name.
You know what's
all the A&Rs heard the music, but he like, fuck that.
I'm gonna be having a hustle hard
Public is like killing shit.
T-shirts and hoodies. And maybe coffee mugs and tumblers. I'm not sure yet. Coming real soon.
A lot of shit over there going viral.
But I mean, basically, like, why I'm so excited you guys are meeting is I don't think there's anyone in hip hop who can really change things like Nipsey can. And the other thing about it is, I've seen you speak a couple times, and then I've spoken to a few people in the tech world who like set up these speaking engagements or these conferences, or Gary speaks all the time. When I saw him speak, it was like I've heard a lot of people say the same type of stuff. I've never understood it until I heard him say it, and so it's like, because of your firsthand experience, and then because of your view, like your point of view, and just the way you are able to communicate to people and just have people understand things. And then like the stuff you're doing with the clothing, and then I watched the video when you went into Starbucks and you met the guy, and now he's like your CTO, and like how many rappers have a CTO, right? But when he walked in Starbucks,
Idris.
Yeah, Idris was the guy right here.
We were just having a coffee and just sitting there?
No, he was doing his work on the computer, but he's doing like this AR stuff to like help like when the cars are driving themselves. Like he's a genius, like
basically,
literally a genius.
What he's explaining, he had some technology on a Starbucks table, and I had my daughter. I was just taking her to the bathroom, and it was like some shit I hadn't seen before. It was like reading the bone structure of his hand off of a LCD piece of hardware.
So you just caught this in the corner of your eye?
I just walked past him and seen it, and I know enough about tech to know that that's not some shit that's out. So I just was like, bro, what is that? And then,
got to talking.
Yeah, we started chopping. He a young dude, you know what I'm saying? And he started explaining that it was autonomous driving. Designed for Uber. And, he started telling me his story, how he was like President Obama's STEM specialist for the youth, and how, he was offered a scholarship to MIT and turned it down. Has all these products he's working on. He's 18.
I love that.
And he come from the
boy.
And I'm like, yeah, we gotta sit down, bro. So we sat down. And
where was it start? Right here, the Starbucks I just stopped by, or somewhere else?
We was in LA. We was on Figueroa. And go ahead, I mean, basically by us sitting down after that meeting, he basically opened my mind up to how we can, where we intersect as far as tech and as far as hip hop and culture, and just like
tech is the oxygen of our society.
Right.
I don't think people understand. Like, I'm sure you're gonna understand this. Everybody in this room, looking around, everyone's quite young. We're all gonna live in a mixed reality world.
That's a lesson.
Contact lenses. Right, we're sitting here right now, fucking Pac and VR, and it's sitting right here with us. Like, people don't understand. Like, people think this is like, people have no clue. They think shit's crazy now. We haven't even started. This is the fucking national anthem of a 19-inning game.
Right.
Like, people haven't even wrapped their head around how fucked up shit is gonna be.
Right. I agree.
So you're hardcore AR, like machine learning, all like, is that like, yeah? Are you fucking around with blockchain yet? You enjoying that? You hacking on top of Ethereum yet? Not yet. But it's caught your eye, right? Yeah, that shit's gonna be fucking.
You got your laptop with you? Can you put it in when you get some?
Yeah, and then they got some other crazy shit where it's like,
teach you about Bitcoin here at Success for Felons as well.
And they set it up where like when you go, so he has a store, like a successful store, a physical store.
Bricks and mortar.
He has a real successful store, and like when you pull the phone up and you point it at the shirt, it starts playing like an unreleased song.
AR.
So there's a reason you have to be in the store, where everyone else is like, yeah, come to my store, it's a meet and greet, I might show up. It's like you actually have to go to his store to get something.
Right.
It's like they're on like the.
Where is that store?
It's on Crenshaw and Slauson.
We need to go there.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Sure. That's the corner, like that's right the main intersection in my neighborhood where I grew up at. That's
What was in that spot when you were a kid?
It was a vacant lot.
The whole time when you were a kid?
Yeah, we used to sell dope in that. You know what I mean? And we coined it as the world's first smart store. But it's basically like he was explaining. You know, there's like walls that are content walls, and then has a big logo, the Marathon logo.
And when you go.
Yeah, and there's a.
So your app triggers it?
Yeah, so the app is. I just, encoded the app. And so basically, what you'll do, and even on the actual, like, say this was a marathon.
Yeah, of course. I know this whole world real well.
So this is the Marathon clothing app. So then you click experience.
And then once you point it, it fucking activates.
Exactly.
Yep. And what's really crazy is, the next iPhone has the AR kit built into it naturally.
Right.
So you don't even have to download the app.
Oh, so it's
part of the operating system.
What does that mean?
Augmented reality.
Oh, right.
So like, on Snapchat, when you look at it and all the like cartoons pop up, the way it's all going to play out, and you know what virtual reality is, right? The way it's probably going to play out, I mean, I'm not fucking a futurist, but it looks like it is all of us 15 years from now, contact lenses, brain talks to it, and we switch from real life to completely being in a fucking virtual world, or AR, where all this stuff you see on Snapchat and Instagram, like, there's just fucking shit in here. Like, here's the butterfly.
Right.
Like, that's our life.
Right.
It really, what's really crazy about it is it's just straight up true. Like it's not even like guessing.
Yeah, no,
it's not even like, it's not Star Trek. It's like everybody here in 20 years. Banked. Locked and loaded.
What does that mean? What type of businesses are going to be built around that?
Well, what kind of businesses are going to get disrupted, right? Like, if you actually think you're at the Eiffel Tower by just closing your eyes, why go? Right? So then you start thinking about shit like San Diego, right? Like, where are the places where there's just nice weather and just chill? If everything's just kind of happening like that, like how expensive is New York City rent? Like that's where you start debating shit like that, right? I think it's all about IP. I think all the pipes are dumb. What you fill it with is everything.
So
Content.
Just what you said, I think, and even in my field of like hip hop, I think like when we look at Mickey or Disney, or we look at like Hello Kitty, there's
so much.
You know what I mean? It's like it started.
Remember Bape the Baping Ape?
Content.
Like when Bape was blowing up in like 08, 09, Mike and my brother and I, we had websites. We had something called Bape the Bathing Ape. We were just trying just hacking, because like cartoons scale.
And that's
like Vince McMahon makes money on Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Andre's been dead for fucking 20 years. Vince McMahon makes money.
Right. Hip hop is the same.
100%.
I don't think that Snoop Dogg is any different than Mickey Mouse.
I totally agree.
And he was content the same way Mickey Mouse was a cartoon, and it turned into a world, it turned into tangible products, and it turned into things that can't be downloaded and can be sold. I think rap is in that point of view. I think that's why the Yeezys. I think Ye is doing that with Yeezy.
100%.
And I feel like, to me, I want to be a part of that. I want to be one of the ones that take a cash register for the music and shift it and use the music to bring the attention to it.
The music is the leverage.
Right.
And right now, people have to make money. The basic players have to go on tour and make money that way, because they're not deploying what you guys are doing. And like, you've got to scale, and they're renting, right? They're putting their name on something, but the company's making all the dollars. But Puma is actually not that hard to replicate, right? Even the next Yeezys is not going to be done with conjunction with Adidas.
Thank you. I mean, please.
Because the infrastructure costs are just not that high.
Right.
Like, when you start realizing the Kanye part's a hell of a lot harder than making this shit.
Listen.
That's why I like Big Baller Brand. I don't care what nobody say about the ugly ass shoe. I fuck with the model.
I was on ESPN, Sports Nation. Yes, 2 days ago. And they brought it, they're like, I want my big thing for the last 10 years I've been putting out on the internet, I'm buying the New York Jets. That's my thing.
Talk to me.
So they started with that. They asked me about Big Baller. I'm like, he's smart. I'm like, look, some of the stuff he pushes a little far, but like, don't get it confused. The essence of what he's doing is exactly
lesson.
right.
Yeah, just the model, not a design.
You know what's crazy? Actually, let me take you somewhere that you're going to like. Now that I know where your mind's at.
Right.
I'm going to throw something
I want
to get everybody's reaction. I think the NBA is the craziest shit. I actually think the way the NBA is structured, that if tomorrow we woke up and heard that Steph Curry, LeBron, Durant, right?
They left to start that.
11, 12, let's call it 14 of them, Russ, right? If 14 of them were like, we're out, and now we each are the first 14 teams and our billionaire partner. There's a lot of billionaires out there.
And they ready to roll.
And they're ready to roll. So, like, if I'm a billionaire and I take Russ and we're co-partners 50-50 because I'm putting up the money, we got to rent arenas, there's all that shit because teams own their arenas, but, like...
Start off.
Not the NFL, not baseball, but the NBA. If the top 14 guys left the league and started their own league, they win. They've got the leverage. Mm-hmm. It's top heavy. Mm-hmm. We aren't going to fuck with a league where the best player is Porzingis.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and I love Zinger, and he's my future, my hope, and I hope he's the best. Right. But, like, if the number one player left in the league is Paul George, the NBA is not going to beat the other league. So, like, that's why I fuck with the model, what the balls are doing. People don't understand. As technology continues to, change, the leverage changes.
And it's not malicious to me. It's like...
It's business.
It's just... It's what the moment demands. If you're aware... You will have to go at it like that.
100%.
It's not like I'm trying to
And that's why I'm trying to push you and your young man here and everybody to debate this idea. If the world is in an issue of supply and demand, then why not have the thesis of just fucking pounding out? I have a man following me.
What do you mean by that? What's the issue with supply and demand?
There's so much supply of content that you can never be overexposed because everybody's getting pulled at so many directions. So the reason nobody wanted to put out so much music before, overexposure. That shit doesn't exist. There's nobody overexposed because everybody's getting pulled in so many directions.
Just coming home.
Evolve to take in more info.
That's for damn sure. Right. But even at scale, I think that you can't be overexposed as an artist if you're capable of putting out a song every day.
Right.
And that's where everyone's fucked up. They think, right? You know how it used to be, right? You come out, you do your thing, then you fucking disappear. Got to keep that balance right. Right? Yeah. I think that shit's so competitive. There's so much great content. There's so much shit going on that if you've got it like that, you gotta go.
But you know, that's interesting because if you look at what made Future pop, like Shift Gears, and what made like Raw Shift Gears, and like, what's up, Chef?
What's up, man?
Tay, what up, bro? So this Chef, this Tay.
Chef, Tay. Gary.
What's up, bro? Chef.
What's up, man? Real pleasure. How are you? Real pleasure.
It was them pounding, just dropping music, bro.
Dropping music.
Crazy.
Look how much fucking music Drake puts out.
Right.
It's a lot of fucking music by standards of what we all grew up with.
That's it.
He's putting out more music in 24 months than people put out in their careers.
I think the X factor is the quality. If you can manufacture...
Well, this comes down to talent.
Right.
Right? Like, this is my thing with you. Like, you gotta push the boundaries of how talented are you.
Right. I agree with that.
Right? Like, how talented are you?
Right.
There's always, like... Especially something as fucking culturally relevant and as passionate as art. You guys do art. Like, if you've got it in you to do it, then you do it. Yeah. Some people don't. Some people got different processes, right? They gotta, you can't force it. But if you've got it, if your notebook is full, if it's full with bangers, you need to put that shit out. It can't be like Prince and you fucking, when we find him dead, we go in a safe and there's 100 other great songs, you know? Right. That day doesn't exist anymore. Him and NJ didn't have it, like they couldn't do that. They had to wait every 3 years to put out 11
you dudes coming home.
Because you're hacking distribution.
Y'all got talent.
I didn't know that's what you was doing.
That's what you're doing.
Y'all got them notebooks full.
You know what's crazy? I apologize, but I gotta say it. So my story is I grew up in Edison, New Jersey, good mixed culture. I'm 41, so I was there I was rocking my Beastie Boys and all this. But then I went to Mount Ida College, which was a 90% African-American college, right? And that's where I really got into it. That's when, before the internet, my friend Moose, was this is Scarface.
Free resources
you need to know this.
to put your stuff out there.
And so, it's funny. I am a super successful businessman. I got D's and F's my whole life, and I still, to this day, believe the people that most understand how to hack distribution are people that...
Hustlers.
Period. I think it comes natural to you, because whether it's what's rolling in your mouth right now, or whether it's a song, you're always hacking distribution.
You know what I used to call it? Personality sales, product flaw. And
yep.
To me, when I used to go hand-in-hand and grind, I used to bootleg CDs. I used to sell a lot of other shit than drugs too. My CD I used to sell, and I used to have to distinguish myself in 5 seconds. So I used to be like, bro, if it's garbage, throw it out the window. And that'll make him be like, let me see this shit. You feel me? If it's trash, throw that shit out the window right in front of me. I ain't tripping. Just listen. You feel me? And it's free. Check it out. You know, if it's boo-boo, throw that shit out the window, bro. I don't got it, you know.
Humility.
And just
humility is the fucking anchor.
Right. And even just like,
you know how to talk to your audience, though.
And that's more important than the product.
Because you reverse engineer the way you would have reacted.
Exactly.
100%.
And I think every time we have a release, when you was talking about marketing, if I love marketing, I think that you got to reverse engineer how you would explain it.
How are you guys thinking about the mutation of hip hop? Like, so that's what's real interesting to me. You got a lot of youngsters in this room, but for like the era that I grew up in, like there was one narrative, right? Like, even if you weren't hard, you made up that you were. That's why so many guys lost, because they had to. There was no angles. There was nobody dressing like you're dressing now. Like, when Bentley came out with those umbrellas, I was like, what? Like, now it's mutating, right? Like, now shit is getting so... It's great, because now it's the fabric of our culture. Like, to me, hip-hop is the fabric of our culture. Like, America. What that means, it's mutating. So it really... It's more fruitful for the real artists, the one that have humility, the one, like, I'm waiting for, like, who's the hip-hop, like, who's the guy or girl at the top of the game that embraces country music stars? Who's at the top of the game that, like, you know, like, there's so many hacks still left to be had. It's real interesting. It's real interesting to me. Like, everything's just, like, mutating into each other. Like if you really look at hip-hop, like, it's crazy that hip-hop absorbed, like, white nerd culture. Right? Like, you wouldn't be wearing those glasses 15 years ago. No way. You'd fucking rather be blind as shit if you didn't have contacts. Like, it's really interesting if you really look at it. I think there's a lot of white space in that. A lot. You know what I'd love to see? Something like, you know what would blow my mind is if I heard you went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, set up shop and fucking did it there, and like fucking brought in local. Like, there's a lot of hacks still left to be done in culture.
Chattanooga. Tech hotspot.
Nashville and Chattanooga. Like, there's just shit to be done.
I hope it doesn't bother you.
There's real stuff going.
Got any advice on how?
Yeah, Ron Gilmore's fucking.
To
he's
quit?
good
Any
job.
good ideas? Any good teas or any good remedies? Let me know in the comments.
Started, right? Like, just hasn't even started. I think a lot of people in hip hop, especially if you're born from it, you're in it. I think are underestimating how much it is fundamentally the underlying current of our society.
I mean, I think the jig is up. I think it's pretty clear. All the stats came out recently about streaming and about the biggest genre is hip-hop. So that's not just your instinct, that's a fact now, too.
I think so, too. I just don't think that people have really realized that, like, every politician, every tech developer, like, every entrepreneur...
They realized it. They know.
That's 100%.
They know.
That's, by the way, that I can guarantee you.
They're just hoping that the content creators don't feel like what you just said is the fact.
Cat's out of bag, man. It's fucking over. Like, it's just that now it's just matter of time.
I agree.
Matter of fucking time.
What do you feel about direct to consumer as far as, like, not just music?
Everything?
Retail, in terms of just business.
So that's all I'm doing. I'm building a machine. I have 800 employees, building a machine to go direct to consumer. But I've got a little bit of a different bet. So instead of starting a new bottled water or starting a new deodorant, because I'm going to buy businesses, I'm a big believer that nostalgia and IP is grossly underrated. So Marvel was a bankrupt comic book company, but when they took the business and they made it into movies, it was worth $1 trillion.
Yeah. It was value flow
So like, I think like, so what's happening in the sneaker game? I'm fascinated how fucked Nike really is, because you can just see it. But I think if you watch carefully, everything's in play. Like, I want to buy Keds. I want to buy Pony. I want all nostalgia. Because, right? Because once it meant something, it's worth a lot more money than people think. You could start something tomorrow called Ends, but if you bought Keds and rocked them properly and created distribution, it would speed up the process. It's exactly what's going to happen.
That's right. Yeah, I believe in that.
Man,
so that's really on my mind.
Man.
Fans, I'm just like, now look. Basically, I walk through the airport and only looking at people's sneakers.
Thanks.
I'm not even looking at it.
To Gary Vee for sharing
That's it.
this interview.
I can't even believe how much trouble Nike's in. I couldn't even think about wearing something else. Of course they got arrogant. Everybody gets arrogant.
Yeah, because that shit, I saw the designs go trash, bro. Even Foot Locker, just the whole Foot Locker store turned trash. You used to go get fresh at Foot Locker. You go buy fresh shoes at Foot Locker. That shit is garbage in there now. Everything look like garbage. Just like
I say create your own brand.
The other thing is the cat's out of bag. Everybody, I'm looking at you right now. That Champion, like if Champion puts out a sneaker tomorrow and it's fly as fuck, and they got the right influencer, the right hip hop star, the right cultural fucking person, it's in the game.
Right? I wear my own t-shirt. Not this one, but
I see it.
I'm gonna stop wearing Rockaware.
That's to me. It's a clap.
Start wearing my own brand.
Look at Puff era with music, right? It was 20 years later, and they sampled the 70s.
100%. That's how it works.
20 years later, they sampling the 90s right now. That's why all them brands is in.
Puma.
All of the 90s. Started the 90 brand.
100%.
Felons the 90 brand. You
know who's ready? Timbo boots are ready to come back.
Yeah.
Right?
We're doing Timbo collab.
Are you?
Yeah.
Timbo, that would be a business I would buy.
That's if you buy Timbo, that's $1 billion company, by the way. They own schedule.
I'm aware. They're huge. Yeah. But based on my thesis that hip hop rules the world, it's probably a $50 billion company if you...
What's your thesis?
Hip hop rules the world.
Fucking with you, bro. That's how I really feel. I swear to God, if you hear the album, my album thesis is hip hop rule the world. All I gotta do is make 100% authentic hip hop album. I'm global. I don't care what nobody tell me. I don't care what no person tells me on earth. All I gotta do is make the most 100% authentic hip hop album right now. I'm global.
While I got you guys here, let me throw something at you. Do you like traveling or no?
I love traveling.
Well, some people, homebody. I gotta ask the questions.
I miss my kid when I travel.
Okay, well that's why I'm asking. Yeah. One of the things that you guys should be thinking a lot about, seeing you guys film, marketing, I've been paying attention. Boyd's been telling me stuff. What people don't, here's what I would do if I were you. Take some of the money you make in whatever you're doing, the store, music. You guys should pick 4 countries. Portugal, Brazil. Pick 4 countries.
Like top markets are obscure countries.
Honestly, you're so creative. Normally I would be like, pick this. I'm going to let it flow here. I want to see what you're about to do.
Right.
Pick 4 markets, right? Because you might say my grandma's from, I don't know, just like,
I would
pick 4.
My country, got my dad from, that'd be on the list.
Where's that?
Eritrea, it's in East Africa.
Love it.
Rest in
pick
peace
4
to
countries
Nipsey Hustle once again,
with
man. His
Facebook
birthday
and
was
Instagram
yesterday.
ads. And I'm talking $5,000-$10,000 a month on 4 countries. People don't realize how global the world's getting. People don't understand how inexpensive this is. Like, I went to Hong Kong, and by the 3rd day, I'm like on a pedestal. America is still the #1 brand in the world.
Absolutely.
America.
Culture.
Correct. Yeah. And so for you to just pick Indonesia and fuck with it, run ads on all your little videos, play that music down, bang them, and then go there.
What we was talking about?
Just marketing and training right here.
Like, we just need to pull up and touch down and fuck around.
Now, London, it's noisy. That's what, you see where I'm going? That's why I'm like, pick Portugal. You're
no one touches it.
And you know how much Philippines ads are? 3 cents. Like, you'll get everybody, and then all of a sudden, here's how it works, right? You do the Philippines, it kills. Now fucking Manny Pacquiao and you were like you gotta hack attention. And like, there's so much white space.
What do you mean by white space?
Meaning, that's correct. Right. Nobody owns Peru. And now somebody will be like, well, Peru, but you don't realize, then you go find some artist there and put them on here. Like, there's so much of that, right? What's that song, that fucking, the #1 stream song now, like my daughter's singing all day, the fucking Bieber and the Latina. Yeah, like, that's hacking culture. That guy was fucking hot down there, but not here. That kind of stuff. And when you're like this creative and this entrepreneurial, that shit makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, you can reverse engineer, or you can see what's actually, like, there's it's reverse engineering.
They all coming onto the internet right now.
Well, that's it. Everything's mixing.
Yeah.
Everything's mixing. That's what I mean with, like, white nerd. Like, it's, like, literally, for somebody like 41 that watches culture every minute of his life, I cannot believe that, like, NWA, like, merged with Urkel. That's what happened.
What you mean by that?
I mean, fucking, if you look at 1991, if you're sitting...
hip-hop.
Yeah, like, 2017 hip-hop is actually Urkel and fucking Ice Cube in 1992 having a baby. And nobody would have thought that. Like, that's how... Go ahead.
Yo, he's right. He's right about that.
That's what the world is. The world is at a transitional point. And the message and culture is so powerful that a destructive message at this point, I don't believe could exist. I think that Drake was needed on some love, balance the world. Cause I grew up when 50 Cent was the hot shit. We was shooting shit, bro.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
I remember.
It was gun culture, and the music influenced the streets. Now everybody got a girlfriend. They got tattoos and drink.
Music influence.
You know what I'm saying? Because the culture was that influential.
Now.
And I think that like the world is like transitioning. You familiar with like physics? I don't want to go way crazy.
Go ahead.
So they look into space and see where they draw their energy to see what type of civilization they are. So if you're getting your energy from the planet you live on, you're a type 0 civilization.
Okay.
That's Earth.
Yep.
But we at a point of transition going into type 1 because we are getting into solar energy. We are harnessing the atmosphere's energy right now. So we are transitioning in terms of physics. When they explore space, they would say that a civilization that harnesses energy from their atmosphere is type 1.
Understood.
So we transition.
Understood.
In Michio Kaku's theory, not mine, this is what he said,
I'm listening.
is that what's happening is that there's a technological evolution that's ahead of the compassion evolution or the spiritual evolution, which is the New Age movement, the vegan movement, all these things trying to catch up to the technology. Because we got nuclear bombs and everybody's armed and we can commit planetary suicide. So what has to balance that is the culture. And that's why Drake is the biggest, I think, and the love is the movement and togetherness.
Positivity always wins at the end, man. This shit is so basic. Like when I look at what's going on in like the social realms, like positivity always negativity always wins the short game, and positivity always wins the long game.
Right.
It's easier to be cynical up front and negative, and people react to it. Like that's what you see on social, right? All negative, you know, like people would rather clown on LeBron than praise Steph. It's negative, like short term, but long term, positivity always wins. Always. Human race just figures this shit out. I'm always on Team Human. We could have been gone a long time ago. I agree.
Yeah, man. I think it's exciting right now, though. You know, that's why I'm kind of going slow. As much as people are like trying to rush me, I'm going slow because I think that there's no need to rush. I think all the opportunities are unfolding.
So Snapchat is a wild moment right now. Because you know how it is, people overreact in each direction. Everybody's like clowning on it because the stock's not doing well and Instagram copied all its features. Meanwhile, $3 CPM and kids are watching content at scale. Like under 30, it's a cost per 1,000 impressions. So you know they're gonna spend ad dollars. Your partner, right?
$3 per
$3 per 1,000. It's nothing. And more importantly, on Snapchat, you have depth, not just width. So this isn't pre-rolls on fucking ESPN.com that nobody gives a fuck about. People are seeing your content in the middle, and then when they're engaging, it's at scale. So when you guys talk, and if I could be a help, if anybody here wants to follow up with detail, Snapchat is grossly underpriced right now. Grossly underpriced.
And what is that?
Because everybody's a headline reader, right? Everyone's like, oh, Instagram killed Snapchat. Go open your app store right now and tell me where Snapchat's ranked.
What does a Snapchat ad look like? It's a 5-second clip or something?
It can be, yeah. It's a 10-second in between, like you're kind of like clicking everybody's stories, and then you'll pop. And then with you, like you should be like, yeah, like, you know what's funny? You know what's funny? You should actually do exactly what the fuck you did when you were slinging your shit at me and be like, yo, swipe up, listen, if you don't like it, fuck, that's it. You should fucking do that same shit. You just look right in the camera and be like, yo, swipe up and listen to it, and if not, fuck it. Right? That is super underpriced. That can hack.
Super.
And everybody trades on, everyone's headline reading.
Right
oh,
there.
Instagram's winning. They're not looking at the details.
Right. Yeah, they got a small campaign on Snapchat right now.
We got so much running on Snapchat right now because it's underpriced.
Smear campaign.
Oh, who?
Just the press.
Yeah. I mean, well, listen, they deserve it. They got punched in the fucking mouth.
They IPO?
Killed. I mean, but I'm buying now because it went too far the other way. Right? Because everybody here living like, there's plenty of fucking people on Snapchat.
Khaled's still talking to his flowers every morning. Rob's still in the mansion with the 10 car. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I built my whole career. I answered every single person that engaged with me on Twitter from 2007 to 2011. All of them. 18 hours a day. Every single person. And so that one-on-one, it's depth. Everybody's worried about width. It's all about depth.
Right, I agree with that 100%.
Post and
If you got
engage.
the energy to grind, well, then you can go wide and deep.
Absolutely.
I don't understand that all these artists have nobody give a fuck about them. They put out a post on Instagram. They have 11 people that give them love, and they can't even reply to those people. You got no fans. Yeah, who the fuck you think you are?
I got a celebrity complex. Yeah, that's what's stopping them.
You know what the biggest thing I took away from the meeting with The Rock just now? Dude, let's call it what it is. The Rock is one. He's at the...
Yeah, for sure.
Man's got 100 million fucking followers on Instagram. That man's still humble as shit, ready to put in work.
Yeah.
And he's there. And you got kids that recorded one song once in the studio once and think they're fancy.
Right.
It's crazy.
That's the difference, though.
Yeah. Some people fake it, some people live it.
Everybody wants something
Gotta
different
stay
from the
humble.
game, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Rock want everything the game got to offer, clearly.
100%.
You know?
Be
Yeah,
sure to
100%.
check out the
All right,
Gary
Jeff.
Vee
You can do
channel.
anything you want.
Responding to the Twitter followers for
Yeah.
that amount of time.
Yeah.
This video was courtesy of
Yeah.
him.
How do you avoid losing those people after you scale up to a million or
beast.
two?
Yeah, listen, everybody wants to be
At
that person that
marketing.
found you first back in, like everybody, people like when somebody makes it, they love you sold out, this and that.
Right.
He don't know it, but he's one of my
if your
mentors.
intent's true, if you actually give a fuck about people and fans, you'll always win that macro game. You're always gonna have that small group that they get a high on discovering the next thing. They love being that person, right, in their group.
And I think that the original ones that you responded to gonna be so engaged that they're gonna be evangelists. They're gonna go out and campaign and create.
And to your point and his point, and 2 out of 10 of them won't, right? 8 out of 10 will, which is better than 0 out of 10 because you didn't engage. And the other 2, they got to find the next flavor of the month because they love being that person. That's how they get their rocks off, right? They're just like, I discovered the next person. You know.
I'm new on shit.
Right. That's what I always loved about you. You always had that ability to find new shit. But if you liked something, you liked it all. That wasn't the high. Can we hear a little something?
Yeah, I play the whole shit. You want to hear the record, the most recent records of me and Bino, or you want to hear the album?
I'm fucking happy I'm here.
All right.
I'll let you chop it up your way. I really appreciate it.
So I can blast off a month.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
I appreciate y'all. All right. Thank you. And then also, when we do sit down, I just have so many dope concepts and just ideas.
Listen, I'm like always traveling, always on. You got my number now. You text me 3 a.m. You're like, what about this? I'm like I'm into it.
Say no more.
I want the action.
Say no more.
I want the action.
Say no more. 'Cause I like that for sure.
All right. Told you now. What was the biggest insight from this session? Leave it in the comments because of the uniqueness
let
of
me
it.
know
I will
in the
be
comment
reading
what
every
you think
YouTube comment. Please drop them. Have
about
a
this
great
video, your
life.
takeaway,
See ya.
whatever. Let me know what you think in the comment section, my good peoples. Give me 1 second while I get situated here. Get situated here.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what up? Big love. I'm super fucking fired up that you guys finally get to...
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, man, here at Felons Uprising, we are a team of like-minded ex-felons who are committed to creating wealth and achieving success, one through personal development. Personal development is the very first step because you gotta get your mind right. You feel me? And like I was saying earlier, when I was down, I remember being around a lot of dudes that had mad talent. I mean, they had them notebooks with their raps. You know what I'm saying? Stacked. Like he was saying, you know what I'm saying? You gotta put it out there, and right now, we have all the tools right at our fingertips. Just with a cell phone, we could do it. They was talking about technology, that augmented reality. I mean, future is here, man. The future is today, and I know that there's a lot of ideas out there that guys like us have. We just need an outlet. And here at successforfelons.com, Felons Uprising community, you know, we're helping you learn this. We're helping you how to learn how to put it all together and distribute it, put it out there. You know what I'm saying? How to use these social media sites, how to use a website to get your info out there, get your content out there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all your rap, your music is. It's content. You know what I'm saying? And by subscribing to my channel, you'll learn this for free. You know, got free training and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, man, if you don't like what you're getting, unsubscribe. You feel me? That simple. But yeah. Like I was saying, you know, it's all about that personal development. You know, getting your mind right. Getting your mind right. And moving on, you know, moving forward. You feel me? That's what we're doing here at Successful Felons. We teaching you how to package your talents. You understand what I'm saying? And distributing it and making money from it. You know what I'm saying? Supporting your family. We got things together that it get you started right away. If you don't have nothing to put out there, you're earning as you're learning. You feel me? Give me 1 second while I get situated here, real quick. But yeah. Let's check my notes here, see what I got here. Yeah. Well, anyway, like I said, check us out at successforfelons.com if you're an ex-felon. If you're not an ex-felon and you're just someone that wanna support felons, you know what I'm saying? Because not all of us are bad, man. You know what I'm saying? We have made some mistakes in our past, but the thing of it is to learn from your mistakes and correct them, you feel me? And move on forward. And that's what we do here at Success for Felons. We help you get your mind right, we help you get your talents together, and we teach you how to market your talents so you're supporting your family, and you in turn helping others do the same thing. You could support us by liking this video. If you're on Facebook watching us, you could like our page, hit the thumbs up, comment. Let me know what you think about this interview with Nipsey Hustle by Gary Vee. Shout out to Gary Vee for sharing that video on Nipsey Hussle's birthday yesterday. That was some good training right there, some good information. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man, that's all I got for today. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. That'll be down in the description. Like I said, like the video, comment, share, because there might be someone out there that may need to hear this information, and it may change their life. You could also support the channel by visiting the Felons Uprising.successforfelons.com website, by purchasing one of our merchandise there. We have the Make 90s Hip Hop Great Again t-shirt. We got the Make Felons Great Again coffee mug, and we have the Nipsey Hustle t-shirt we have available there at our store. And we got our flagship t-shirt, the Felons Uprising t-shirt. Each time you wear this shirt, you'll be spreading the word on how ex-felons could change their life again and be great again. You feel me? So with that said, I'm out. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and let felons know that there's a way to change, man. Everybody has some sort of talent. All right? Peace.